So the All Blacks have a few injuries that they have to deal with, a couple pretty big ones as they head towards France and Italy for their last two November internationals. But in this video, we'll be looking through at the switches that have been made and then a list of the whole squad, which is looking extremely different to when it was first announced. But jumping straight into it, the first player who will not be available for the game up against France is Sam Cane. He ended up having an HIA in that match up against Ireland, did fail it, and that means that they do need a replacement for the match up against the French. Now, they already have certain number 7s that could play in this match. We could see a reshuffle of maybe Ardie Savea back to 7 with Wallace Satiti taking on 8 and Summer Penifei moving to number 6. We could also see the youngster Peter Lakai get his starting debut, or we could see this man that they have brought into the side get an opportunity. In the All Blacks kit, that is Du Plessis-Carefe, a man who did captain the All Blacks XV in their 2 successful matches, one against Munster and one against Georgia. Now, a majority of the All Blacks XV side, I believe, will already be starting to head back to New Zealand, but Du Plessis-Carefe, he gets to stick around and join up with this All Blacks side. Some people have been calling for him to be in the All Blacks since the start of the announcement. He is a workhorse. The one thing I believe that let him down at the very start was his discipline. That seems to have come a little way in just the last few months. So that is the first change. Sam Cane out and Du Plessis-Carefe in. Another injury that I didn't actually realise at the time, but it is a pretty substantial one, and that is that there will be no Mark Telea, but not just this match up against France, but more than likely the match up against the Italians as well. He has been a real impact player for the All Blacks throughout the November internationals, scoring 2 tries up against the English, but now they have a massive gap to fill out on that right wing. They do have a bit of cover already. Sevu Reece could slot into that jersey. Ruben Love, he did actually play there, got himself a double when he did make his way off the bench on debut, but the more likely out of those two to start would of course be Sevu Reece, but they have brought in Che Fiaki. He has been in and out of this All Blacks squad as injury cover. Was playing for the All Blacks XB, now moves back in to this All Blacks side. Now, another change that they had to make was not an anticipated one, and it isn't based off what we saw in the last game up against Ireland, but Sam Darry, he is out with a season-ending MCL injury. So a massive shame for him, definitely because he's been working so hard in this All Blacks environment. He had brilliant games up against Argentina throughout the Rugby Championship. Then with that return of Tui Pilotu, he slowly dropped further and further down the rankings, and now unfortunately out for the rest of the season. But that brings in the young lock Fabian Holland, who recently was a part of the All Blacks XB. Some people are calling him the next superstar lock for the All Blacks, but he is still extremely young, perhaps could get a chance up against the Italians in an All Blacks kit, but for now, he will just be training with the side. But those are the 3 big switches that the All Blacks have made after that Ireland game. It seems like every single week at the moment, we are seeing more and more players excluded from the side due to the injuries that can be sustained. But now we've got the list of the current All Blacks squad with all the injuries taken into consideration. And compared to what we saw when it was first announced, there are really drastic changes. So in the forwards, it is still Asafo Aumua, Cody Taylor, he recently returned from his head injury, and then George Bell, the other hooker. Now, while Cody Taylor was out, we did see Brodie McAllister join up with the squad. I'm not too sure whether or not he is still with them, just in case, or whether he has gone back with the All Blacks XB. In the props, it is Ethan de Groot, who we haven't actually seen throughout these matches as of yet due to a disciplinary issue, which still no one really knows what that is. Tyrell Lomax, Fletcher Null, Pasilio Tosi, Ofa Tuangafasi, and then also to Mighty Williams. Then in the locks, Scott Barrett, Tupavai, Patrick Tuipulotu. This is where we also see Fabian Holland now added in, and then Josh Lord. He did join the squad initially with that first wave of injuries that the All Blacks had involving Blackadder, Jacobson, as well as Dalton Papali'i. In the loose forwards, this is where we see Du Plessis-Carefe, Summer Penifei, Peter Lakai, Christian Leo Willie, he was another man added in due to injuries, Ardie Savea, and also Wallace Satiti. Now, those 2 men that I mentioned last, they are definitely the players that the All Blacks do not want to lose before the end of November. Satiti has had a dream breakout season for the All Blacks. Savea, of course, always that workhorse and the experienced head for the 4-pack on the back side of things. It is DJ Perenara, Cortez Aratama, and Cam Roigard, who did get to join the squad. He was actually, when this team was first announced for November, the only switch. And it just shows you how far we've come. We're now looking through at the side with Holland, Lord, Karifi, Lakai, Christian, Leo, Willie, all those new names that weren't initially there. Bowden Barrett, Damian McKenzie as the fly halves, then Geordie Barrett, David Havili, Rico Ioane, Anton Leonard-Brown, AJ Lamb, because he is in there for Billy Proctor, who did go home for the birth of his child, Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, Ruben Love, Stephen Perofeta, Sevu Reese, and then Chaifiaki, and also maybe Harry Plummer. He was brought in for Bowden Barrett's head knock, so perhaps now that Barrett is back, we do see Plummer return, but I feel like he should still be in that environment, seeing as they haven't got a huge amount of number 10s for this side. But nonetheless, that is the All Black squad for their upcoming match up against the French. Now, there could be even more changes before we head into the Italian match, but of course we will keep you updated on the channel as well. But out of the new players who were added in after the first initial November internationals naming, who are you looking forward to seeing the most? And also, who do you think the All Blacks will play in that number 7 jersey? They've got 3 Hurricanes options. Is it going to be Lakai? Is it going to be Karefi? Or will it be Adi Savia, who of course was at the Hurricanes, but this year joining his brother at Moana Pacifica? But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.